everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Carissa's Bread Basket and I'm Carissa, and today we're actually going to be making 32 soft sourdough discard dinner rolls. This recipe can be found on farmhouse.onboon.com, and she actually makes 8 rolls with the recipe that she has. If you watch my previous video, I made 2 soft sourdough discard loaves from the exact same recipe, except I doubled it. Well, today I'm doing a double of the double. So that's how we're getting 32 dinner rolls. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to show you guys how to make these. They are absolutely delicious. And I do want to tell you, if you live south of St. Louis area, I actually have an in-home business where I sell these. I sell the rolls, I sell the classic sourdough loaf, and I also sell the soft sourdough discard loaves. So if you're interested, you can look me up on Facebook, Carissa's Bread Basket, and would love to meet with you. All right, I hope you enjoy this video. The first thing that you want to do for this recipe is to take 3 cups of water, make sure it's filtered water, not chlorinated, and you want to heat that up to about 104 to 108 degrees. And then you're going to take 9 teaspoons of yeast. I use the dry active yeast, not the rapid. And then you're going to take a cup of sugar and mix this all together until it dissolves. Looks like we are ready. So now we just have to wait. What you want it to do is it will actually get a little bubbly and a little foamy, and that's what you want, because then you know that it's active. The yeast is active and bubbly, so that means we are ready to add the other ingredients. This is going to be 4 teaspoons of salt. Now the recipe online on farmhouse.onboon.com, she only does 1 teaspoon per 8 rolls, but I actually double that with the other one that I use. She uses half a teaspoon. I apologize. So with my 2 loaves or my 16 rolls, I use 2 teaspoons. And then you're going to add your discard. It's 2 cups for this recipe. And then what you need to do while you're waiting for the yeast to become active is melt your 2 sticks of butter, because you need those to cool down. If they are above 110 degrees, you could kill the yeast that's in your dough. So you want to make sure that you cool that. So now we add 10 cups of flour. Now you're going to stir it all together. And the reason that I'm not using my KitchenAid is because it's not big enough to hold this much dough. Trust me, I would if I could. This is not an easy task. What I like to do whenever it gets too hard to stir is I go ahead and put some flour on the counter, and then I'm able to work that dough. It's still pretty sticky, so I'm going to add quite a bit of flour to make sure that I get it the right texture. You don't want it to stick to your hands when this process is over. So yeah, you just want to make sure that you use enough flour. It was actually raining the day that I recorded this, and so there was a little more humidity than what I would have liked to have had in the house. And you'll notice that you will need to add more flour when that happens. So now we're just going to knead and get it where we want it. This usually takes about 5 to 8 minutes, depending. And the texture that we're looking for is like Play-Doh. You want it to be very stretchy. You don't want it to tear. You don't want it to be sticky. You want it to be like Play-Doh. It's the best way I know how to describe it, because then you know it's perfect. And we will do the window pane test at the end, and that just means we lift a piece of it up, we pull it up, and you want to see light through it. You don't want it to tear. You want it to be very, very pliable. I am missing my KitchenAid about right now. A good workout, that's for sure. How our ancestors stayed in shape. It's beginning to feel like it's supposed to feel like Play-Doh. So I start testing it, and you can tell you want to bounce it and make sure that it's not going to tear or rip. You want it to bounce. And it's getting close. And I'm getting tired. Definitely missing the KitchenAid right now. Okay, so we're going to do the window pane test where we pull it up just to see if it tears, see if you can see the light through it. And we are getting so close. There we go. Perfect. The next thing that you want to do is grab your big bowl. You're going to put oil in that to make sure that it doesn't stick. And this will definitely expand to that lid, so make sure that you put oil on that as well. Whatever you're using to cover it with, make sure that it's not going to stick to it. This dough felt amazing. So I like to press it down flat, and then we wait about an hour and an hour and a half, and this is how it turned out. Perfect. We're going to punch all of the air out of it, bring it to the bottom. And since this is a quarter, like a double of the recipe, I'm actually going to cut this into 4 parts. I find it easier to cut it in half while it's big first and take that out. And then it's just easier for me if I flatten that out, the second part, and then cut that in half too. And then what I demonstrate is I actually flatten the last part out in the bowl, and then I cut it like a pie into 8 equal parts. I don't always do this because I'm able to do it by feel now, and they don't turn out perfectly the same size, but it's close enough that I'm okay with it. But to be more precise, you can either weigh each individual piece of dough and make sure that they all weigh the same, or you can do what I'm doing here and just cut them into equal parts. And there you go. I like to roll these in my hand. You're going to tuck onto the top, which will actually end up being the bottom. But you just kind of roll and tuck and spin it around in your hand. And then I like to turn it to where you can actually do that from the top. And I like to push up through the middle and tuck that dough. What you're wanting to do is add tension. And I shared a short that you can watch, and it shows in detail how I do this. And I don't always spend this much time on each roll, especially when you see the short. But you want to make sure that you're adding tension. It will give it a much better spring in the oven, and it'll make it rise. They'll be poofy and beautiful. But this is definitely the part that takes a while, but it's worth the effort because they turn out so lovely. I do want to say too, this technique takes practice. It's not going to be perfect the first few times that you do this. So don't get discouraged if they don't turn out just right or just the right shape or, what you thought they would be like. Just be patient with yourself and just keep practicing, because just like everything else, practice makes perfect. And you just have to give yourself time to learn the technique, and even your own technique. You may find something that works better for you, for your rolls. On the pans that I have, they're pretty big cookie sheets, and I'm able to get 12 rolls on each one, which is really nice. I have 3 of those, so thank goodness for my mom. She bought me those for Christmas this last year. I had no idea that I'd be using them as much as I am. I do recommend that you line your pans with parchment paper. If you're using glass, you can actually use melted butter on the bottom. Alright, so I did that with all 32 rolls, and then I covered them, and they need to sit for 30 minutes to an hour, and you want them to be puffy. You want to be able to see that they have actually doubled in size again, each roll, and you want them to be puffy. When they're ready, and they are, we're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. And then you're going to let them sit in the oven for 10 minutes. Check them. I usually spin mine in the oven, put them back in for another 10 minutes. And the temperature that you need these to be, and you're going to stick your digital thermometer in, is at 200 degrees. That is the perfect temperature because that means they're finished. What I'm doing with this batch is I'm adding melted butter to the top, and you can stop right there. Just do melted butter and that be it. But we like to add salt to the tops of them, and so that's what I'm doing here. You can add everything bagel seasoning, you can do garlic, salt, you can do all kinds of stuff. And then we're going to just let these cool. You want to take them off of the tray because that will help them to cool faster, and it helps them not to become soggy. Here comes the rest. These turned out beautiful. The interesting thing about this bread, like the loaf and the rolls, because you are adding yeast and butter and sugar, they do not taste like sourdough. It's not like a regular sourdough loaf where you don't have any other flavor added. And so If you have somebody that doesn't like sourdough that much, just let them know this does not have that sourdough taste. They're just really, really delicious. They taste heartier than a yeast roll. They will definitely fill you up faster than a yeast roll, but they're just really delicious. They're amazing. So it takes about 30 minutes or so for these to cool completely, and you want to make sure that they're completely cool before you wrap them up or put them in a Ziploc bag. I usually store these in either a gallon Ziploc freezer bag, and these can be frozen as well. You can make sandwiches with these. Breakfast sandwiches can be pre-made and wrapped in parchment paper and frozen for a quick breakfast. Chicken salad is amazing on these sandwiches, on these rolls. Um, there's just a lot of options, or just butter and jelly. That's my favorite. I love to get the Aldi's butter, the spreadable butter with olive oil and sea salt. And then I also buy the Miller's blackberry jelly, and it is just amazing. These turned out so pretty. I'm so proud of them. That is how you make sourdough or soft sourdough discard rolls. I highly recommend that you try this recipe if you're working with sourdough. You will not be disappointed because they are awesome. All right, I hope you guys have a great day.